Hi. Since this is my third video of the night, so I don't need to introduce myself, right? Yeah, I don't need. I need to change my sitting position first. Sorry. Wait. So just. Yeah. For this year, for the first time, I had used the F1 Fantasy game. So yeah, my team is Zaimis team. So my total score for the year is 2,556. Yeah, my stats are I'm the 311th thousand 37373rd player from 522 400 522,408 players around the world. So my best Grand Prix is in Hungary. Okay, wait. My best Grand Prix is in Hungary. Uh, Country rank is 65th. 65%. Sorry. Uh, Constructor rank. Okay. 55% because I will commonly choose the lower ranked teams. Sometimes I will go for the higher ranked teams like Red Bull and Ferrari. That's the only two teams that I will go. For the lower ranked teams, I commonly go for Toro Rosso because they are Italian, and I'm more biased to Alfa Romeo. It's not because of their Italian tradition. Yeah, it's because of Kimi Raikkonen. So yeah, I'm a Raikkonen fan. So yeah, choose I would choose Alfa Romeo more over Toro Rosso, but still I would go for those two teams because uh, sometimes if I go for Red Bull and what do you call it, Red Bull and Ferrari, I my team will go on the budget. So yeah, so I always go for the lower ranked teams to save my budget because the drivers that I pick is always more than uh, 10, not 10%, but uh, it costs more than 10 fantasy dollars. Yeah. So yeah, Raikkonen is one of them. Vettel is one of them. Verstappen is one of them. Uh, Ricardo is one of them. Hamilton is the most expensive, the second most expensive driver. 129 uh, fantasy dollars is Mr. Vettel. Yeah, Hamilton is 31. Uh, 10 for Raikkonen, 22 for Verstappen and Bottas. The price on their fantasy price. Okay. Uh, 15, I think. 20, 15 for for Ricardo. Yeah, the cheaper of the two Renault drivers is surprisingly Hulkenberg. I always get him around 8 is 7.5 to 7 to 15. quite cheap. Yeah, some drivers they can cost as low as 10. Some drivers can cost as high as 25, like Vettel and Hamilton. I I s- I seldomly pick those two drivers. My common lineup is Raikkonen, Verstappen. Okay, Raikkonen, Verstappen because it's Verstappen, right? Raikkonen is okay. Top level is all the bottom the all the from Science down to Russell. I I will pick one of the drivers, but the drivers the driver that I least will pick is the Canadian driver, whose his father bought over Force India, and I think his father also just purchased Aston Martin, the car manufacturing company Aston Martin. So yeah, yeah, I don't have to mention his name. So generally people would know who I'm referring to, right? So yeah, he's Perez's teammate, Sergio Perez, or the paddock will call him Checo. So yeah, so yes, I will not pick him. Okay, I will pick his teammate. Uh, yeah, seldomly I pick his teammate, but I will not pick that Canadian driver at all. Okay, he does not deserve to be in my team. Yeah, so all the other drivers, barring from those expensive one that it's more than 20, uh, more than 8, more than 17 fantasy dollars, I will always pick them except for mm, uh yeah, below 17 fantasy dollars except for Stroll. The other drivers I will pick, but not except for Stroll. So yeah, for the most common driver that I will pick is for that that any of the drivers that ranges from 18 fantasy dollars to 35 fantasy dollars is Verstappen. At 22, Verstappen's average price is at 22.5 fantasy dollars. So yeah. So yep, I will commonly pick Verstappen, or I will 90% of the time I will not omit Verstappen out of my team. I will not omit Raikkonen out of my team. The other drivers I will omit out. For constructors, I commonly pick Alfa Romeo because of Raikkonen. Red Bull seldomly, Ferrari seldomly. All the other teams I alternate, but 90% of the time I will pick Alfa Romeo because of Kimi Raikkonen. So I'm a bit driver bias, not team bias. So I have I I've selected all the teams, including uh, I've used 19 out of the 20 teams only. The only team that I have never used is the Racing Point. All the other teams I've alternately used, even though I use Alfa Alfa Romeo more than any other teams. When I set up my fantasy team, I tend to pick Alfa Romeo all over Ferrari because of Raikkonen. Ferrari, I'm a fan of Ferrari, but I will not pick Ferrari. I will pick Alfa Romeo because of Raikkonen. I'm more. I follow a driver more than I follow the team. Because driver you can move around and look for teams you can only look for drivers can look for teams can look for drivers, but usually the driver market is stronger than the teams market. So yeah, so I would rather be a fan of the driver instead of being a die-hard fan of the team. But I'm still a Ferrari fan, but not as hardcore as Raikkonen. So yeah, so I'm more biased to Alfa Romeo because of Raikkonen. If Raikkonen drives for a Renault or for any other team, I would be biased to Raikkonen more than the team that it's driving for. Yeah, so yeah, and Verstappen, because Jos Verstappen has raced with Raikkonen. His son is racing with Raikkonen also. So yeah, that's why I always leave Raikkonen, and 90% of the time I always leave Raikkonen and what do you call it? Raikkonen and Verstappen, and not take them out from my fantasy team. So I don't alternate those two drivers that often, but the other three drivers I alternate. The other three driver slots I would alternate between the other 18 the other 17 drivers, excluding Stroll, because I won't pick Racing Point. I won't pick Stroll, but I will pick Perez over Stroll more. So yeah. So yep, there will be more videos coming up. So stay tuned.